guys, what's up? It's Krista from Catnap Reader. Today I'm here to talk to you about my current TBR. This is by no means my entire TBR pile. It is massive right now and it would take entirely too long, probably take hours to go over. So I'm just going to focus on my TBR that I'm planning on reading over the next month to a month and a half. With that being said, let's get started. The first book that I want to talk to you guys about today is Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. And I am so embarrassed that I have not read this book yet. I've had it for so long, and Cassandra Clare is by far my all-time favorite author. I have read every single book that she's come out with. To be honest, I feel like the reason I haven't read this book is because I kind of want to savor it, and I'm afraid that once I devour it, that's it, it's done, it's over. So I think that's part of the reason why I've been putting it off for so long. But this needs to happen. Queen of Air and Darkness is out, and clearly I now need to catch up, so I have got to read this like ASAP. I'm not going to go into any synopsis or anything like that about what this book is about because it is the second book of the series, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody that has not read the first book. So I can't wait to read this so that we can talk more about it. The next book that I want to talk to you guys about is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This book is a book that I have had for an incredibly long time. I've actually had this one for a couple of years, and it's a trilogy, and I actually have all three books. I've been wanting to read them for a very long time, and for some reason I just keep putting it off. To be honest, I'm not sure why. From what I know, it's about a girl that basically goes to her school library, and she ends up finding this like mystical, magical book. And she really wants nothing to do with it, so she just kind of like tosses it to the side. And somehow her finding that book stirs up a lot of things in the underworld and like with the witches and the demons and all of that. So I don't know much else about the book. I do know that it deals with like witches and demons and magic and all of that stuff, but I don't know much else about it, and that's kind of how I want to go into this book, just kind of not knowing much and just being surprised by what happens. I have heard many good things about the series, and I do know that they actually just adapted this first book into a TV series that just recently aired. So I'm excited to see that as well. The next book that I want to talk to you guys about today is The Stand by Stephen King. This is another one of those books that is so highly acclaimed. Like, everybody talks about this book. Everybody praises this book. The thing is, it's one of my favorite type of stories. Like, I love a good plague story, a good viral outbreak, plague. Like, I'm here for it. I love it. It is my favorite type of story, all-time favorite type of story. So I really couldn't wait to get into this book and start devouring it. However, I'm about an eighth of the way through it. As you can see, it is a massive book. We're talking, let's see, almost 1,000 pages, and the copy that I have, the writing is incredibly tiny, so it's massive. I've actually been listening to it on audiobook, and the audiobook is over 45 hours. That is incredibly long. I don't think I've ever listened to an audiobook that long. So basically, I'm about an eighth of the way through it, and I found it very, very slow. I don't know if maybe it's just because it's so hyped and my expectations are so high that I'm underwhelmed at this point, but I'm just finding that I'm not really intrigued. It's very slow moving. It's like I'm waiting for it to pick up pace. I almost find myself like bored, to be honest. I really am just like, okay, you know, I get it. He's sick, he's infecting everybody, but I'm kind of wanting more from the story. And like I said, maybe that's just because the book is so hyped and my expectations are so high. I don't know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you read The Stand? Does it get better? Do I need to just hang in there? Please let me know. I would love to hear your comments on this because I really am dying to know, is this book going to take off? Is it going to speed up? Is it just me? I don't know. Let me know. The next book I want to talk to you guys about today is called Night Film by Marisha Pessl, and this is another one of those books that I feel like people either love or hate. A lot of people love this book. However, there is a lot of people that seem to have an issue with the way that the book ends. I have not read the book yet, so obviously I don't know how the book ends. I don't know, much about it. I believe it's about a girl who has committed suicide or is believed to have committed suicide, and the lead investigator does not believe that. Like, he really believes that this is like a murder investigation. And I believe it's just about him trying to find out what really happened to this girl. Did she commit suicide? Was she murdered? And he kind of just dives deep into her life and, what was going on and what brought her to this point in her life. Actually, in the middle of the book, there is a bunch of photos, a bunch of really cool information. I'm just really excited to dive into this book and read it. I've heard really good things about it, so I'm here for it. I'm ready. Let me know. Did you guys read it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. The next book I want to talk to you guys about is called The Humans by Matt Haig. This is one of those books that people seem to absolutely love and adore. It's kind of hard to describe, so bear with me. Basically, it's about this professor who solves this mathematical equation. And from what I know, this mathematical equation that he solved is gonna really affect not just us here on our world, but it's gonna have ripple effects throughout the universe. And there is this alien species who is like, okay, we cannot allow this to get out. Okay, if people find out that he solved this equation, it's gonna have bad repercussions, and we have to silence him, we have to kill him, we have to get rid of him and his family and anybody else that knows that he solved this equation. So basically, they send one of their aliens from their species to go and basically inhabit his body and kill him and his family. Basically, it is the aliens telling his point of view of the story, and he's telling what he's seeing. He's never been to Earth before, so this is all alien to him, and it's just his point of view, and it's very, very funny. It's heartwarming. I have not finished the story. I'm about a quarter of the way through it. I'm loving it so far. It's very cute. It's very quirky. I feel like from what I've heard, the alien ends up falling in love with the family and kind of likes humans and has like this soft spot for humans, and he just does not want to kill the professor that he was sent to kill. And I don't know much else about it. I'm really excited to finish it. This is another one that I've started and I just have not had time to finish, so I'm super excited to be able to finish this one. The last two books that I want to talk to you about today are both by Colleen Hoover. The first one is It Ends With Us. Basically, this book, from what I know, is about a girl that is dealing with abuse, and she ends up meeting this super handsome neurosurgeon. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure if it's the neurosurgeon who is abusing her or if it's abuse from a previous relationship that she's just still dealing with and she hasn't gotten over it. I'm not sure. All I know is it was with abuse in some way or shape or form. I literally have only read a couple of pages. I think I've read like 9 pages, so I haven't read the book yet, honestly. But I am excited to pick it up, and I am planning on doing so very soon. The last book that I want to talk to you guys about today is also by Colleen Hoover, and it is called All Your Perfects. And this book is a book that I am super, super excited to finish reading. To be honest with you, I actually started reading this book while I was at work one day, a couple of months ago. And it's one of those books that really hits home for me, and it's something that I can really relate to. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of was giving me the feels, and I was getting choked up, and it just wasn't appropriate for work, and I didn't want to sit there and have one of those ugly cries that some books can cause us to have. I didn't want to go through that at work, so unfortunately I had to set the book down and pick up a different book. So basically what it's about is it's about this girl and this guy that meet in a very awkward, unexpected way. And what ends up happening is this girl goes to surprise her fiance at his apartment, and when she gets to the apartment, she goes to knock on the door, and there's this other guy standing in the hallway, and he basically tells her that that's not a good idea, that she should not do that. And she's looking at him like, who are you? Like, what are you talking about? And basically he tells her, like, look, you really shouldn't do that, you don't want to do that. And she ends up hearing noises coming from inside the apartment, from inside her fiance's apartment. She's hearing noises. And she slowly realizes that the noises that she's hearing is her fiance having intercourse with another woman. So basically she's realizing as she's standing out front of his door that he's cheating on her. She comes to find out that the gentleman who is in the hallway is the boyfriend of the girl who her fiance is cheating on her with. So unfortunately they have, both found out at the exact same time that they're being cheated on. They end up, of course, breaking up with their significant other, and they end up falling in love with one another, and they end up getting married. The book is really about their marriage and just them trying to rekindle their love for one another and realize what made them fall in love in the first place. It's just really about them trying to keep their marriage together and bring back the happiness of their marriage, because for them it's not just all about the love, it's about being happy. I did highlight a couple of things. Like I said, I'm only a quarter of the way through this book. I did highlight quite a few things already, but there's this one passage that really stands out to me that I wanted to read to you guys. Chapter 2. Our marriage didn't collapse. It didn't suddenly fall apart. It's been a much slower process. It's been dwindling, if you will. I'm not even sure who's most at fault. We started out strong, stronger than most. I'm convinced of that. But over the course of the last several years, we've weakened. The most disturbing thing about it is how skilled we are at pretending nothing has changed. We don't talk about it. We're alike in a lot of ways, one of them being our ability to avoid the things that need the most attention. In our defense, it's hard to admit that a marriage might be over when the love is still there. People are led to believe that a marriage ends only when the love has been lost, when anger replaces happiness, when contempt replaces bliss. But Graham and I aren't angry at each other. We're just not the same people we used to be. Sometimes when people change, it's not always noticeable in a marriage because the couple changes together in the same direction. But sometimes people change in opposite directions. I've been facing the opposite direction from Graham for so long, I can't even remember what his eyes look like when he's inside me. But I'm sure he has every strand on the back of my head memorized from all the times I roll away from him at night. People can't always control who their circumstances turn them into. I look down at my wedding ring and roll it with my thumb, spinning it in a continuous circle around my finger. When Graham bought it, he said the jeweler told him the wedding ring is a symbol for eternal love, an endless loop. The beginning becomes the middle, and there's never supposed to be an end. But nowhere in that jeweler's explanation did he say the ring symbolizes eternal happiness, just eternal love. The problem is, love and happiness are not concordant. One can exist without the other. And that's just one thing that I have highlighted in this book that I just really felt like touched me, and it's something that I could really relate to, and I really can't wait to finish reading this book. I'm super excited about it. I know I'm gonna love it. This is my next read, hopefully real soon. I think this is the next book that I'm gonna pick up. Right now I am really into finishing The Stand by Stephen King, so I want to really push through and finish that book so that I can pick this one up. Alright guys, if you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And in the comments down below, let me know, have you read any of these books? Did you like them? Did you not like them? And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Bye!